There's a lot of hot stocks out there on the stock market right now, but there's 5 really hot ones this week that you should be watching as they report earnings. Can they keep the momentum? Should you be buying here on what is near their highs after big runs in these shares? Let's dive right in to see what are the 5 companies that are among the hottest on the street right now. So the first one would be Tractor Supply, ticker TSCO. Yes, a retailer, but as we know, the retailers are very strong right now because consumer demand is there. Now, Tractor Supply's motto is for life out there. So they're mostly in the rural areas and in the farming communities, and farming is strong right now. The agriculture sector is doing quite well. So Tractor Supply will get an extra boost in addition to just a strong consumer from that aspect of it. Now, they beat 6 quarters in a row now. Again, that's impressive during a global pandemic on the retail side. So that's great. And year to date, these shares up 40%. As you know, the S&P 500 now is up around 19% or so. So still outperforming the S&P 500. But the question with some of the retailers are going to be, what's happening with the supply chain? Are they going to have enough product in for the holiday season? How is that all going to impact earnings? So that's why you want to tune in to Tractor Supply to see what's really going on behind the scenes, because this is a key earnings quarter for all the retailers. And then we're going to switch it over to another retailer you might not be as familiar with unless you have a pool. Pool Corp, ticker POOL. I talk about this every quarter now because it's one of the best performing stocks of like the last 30 years. And during the pandemic, everybody wanted a pool, so they were all ordering like crazy. But what's happening now, it looks like, the street thinks this bullish period is going to continue because shares are up again this year, hitting those new 5-year highs after quite the streak the last couple years. But they're up only about 22% here in 2021. Now, that's not horrible by any means, but again, the S&P 500 is up 19%. So maybe that's finally cooling down a bit as people are wondering just how many more pools can they buy and how is the supply chain issues going to impact Pool Corporation as well, just like every retailer, because they sell all the goods and things that go along with the pools. So this is a key one to watch, and this chart has been one of the hottest. I keep thinking it can't keep going from here, but it does. So this is definitely one to tune in on. Then we're going to stay with the retail side of things with CROX. Yes, CROX are back. CROX is the ticker. This is one of the hottest of the apparel, shoes, accessory retailers, along with Deckers, which is Uggs, remember? So anything with the shoes is doing quite well. Shoes are a cheap way to update your wardrobe. And if you're going back to things like, weddings or on vacations and things, then shoes are an easy addition. We see some really huge beats on the green arrows here. So these are just massive beats, 37% there, 69. Then we had 29 the quarter before that here in 2021. A betting person might think they might beat again here. Those shares did hit those new highs. They're up 118% here still year to date, even with this little mini pullback that we're seeing. So these shares really, really hot. Can it keep it up? I don't know, but I'm going to be watching to see. Then we're going to switch over to one of the hottest of the social media stocks, Snap. Snap should be more in the spotlight, but not as many people giving it much love, even though look what they're doing. Just 2 misses since that IPO in 2017. So that's pretty impressive. They've always been pretty consistent at meeting or beating on those estimates. And last quarter, as you can see with that little green arrow, they're going to have, they had a big beat there that surprised everyone, 600% beat right there. And so the shares busted out to yet another new high. They're up 54% year to date, easily beating the S&P 500. And so now is the time for Snap to shine. How much further does it have in the tank, though? We will see. And then we're going to wrap it up with one of the hottest of the restaurant stocks, Chipotle. Who can count them out? Ticker CMG. They've only beaten 3 out of the last 4, but still a great track record, even going all the way back on the 5-year chart. They mostly meet or beat here. Shares have busted out to yet another new high and are up 32% year to date. So that's still impressive given the big run they had in 2020, but not, overwhelmingly better than the S&P 500, which has also been hot. Let's call it what it is. 19% on the S&P is still a great year. So Chipotle still busting out, but we already heard from the other king of the restaurants, Domino's, and they've been having trouble even just finding labor, finding people just to make the pizzas. So is the same happening with Chipotle? They've already raised their wages earlier this year in order to try to attract people. And then we have any kind of food inflation also going on, and we still have pandemic outbreaks. So what's going on with that? So there's a lot of operating parts with the restaurants right here, and we'll see if Chipotle can hold on to its momentum. So the hottest charts are definitely hot. And as my colleague Dave Bartosiak always says, upward momentum usually begets more upward momentum. So we'll see what happens this earnings season. And if they're beating again, and if they can find that momentum to continue these hot streaks, these are definitely the 5 I'm going to be watching. And otherwise, I'm going to be watching dozens of others and picking out the ones you should be watching every week. I'm bringing them to you every week during earnings season, so don't miss a single episode. Get us at Zacks.com/YouTube on our YouTube channel, and I'll see you again next week with some more earnings charts.